this sessions you guys coming up with is very good for any organization, any tech entrepreneur, any techie. Basically, a techie, when I call it, somebody who is a developer or who is actually trying to do something with the technology to grow. Now, there are many things with AI coming in, and one thing I was talking about, or I was in some summit which they were talking about, is like we are talking about making it a disjoint process where anybody can actually interface with the main fast GPUs and get their things done. But now the next era, I would say, is a combination where we can directly connect with the systems. So we are on the AI era. Now you are going to see an AI and ML with the uniform systems.
Hi, you're watching The Mainstream. I'm Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and we are in Bengaluru celebrating the 4th edition of the Digital Native Nexus 2026 brought to you by The Mainstream. I'm joined by Mr. Jithendran. He is the Chief Technology Officer at Blubirch. Firstly, sir, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome, and I am still enjoying the experience.
Thank you so much. That being said, a day full of leaders from the digital native landscape. How do you think these platforms are kind of building a summit or building a platform for relevant discussions? What is your take?
Yeah, so it is what we are experiencing is a change every moment. If it is a tech or an operation, and obviously without a tech, no operations happens right now. So you rightly point the tech leaders. I would say that everyone is trying to become a leader or becoming a leader because of the tools what we have and the energy what we are getting by using them to build the organization.
Right.
So these platform, it is actually, one is an education for the people who wants to learn more. Second one is, it is a platform where the leaders who has actually experienced the platforms, experience the technology, experience the tools, experience the life through the changes to express their opinions to the world. That means when I'm saying to the world, it is actually starting from one place, maybe in a room, but actually it spreads. How it spreads is like the people come from different organizations, they understand it and they collate it, and also they may say that, oh, okay, by doing this, I can actually explore something. And there are networking session happens. More than networking, I would say as a business opportunity, these sessions, I find it as it's a tech enablement opportunity. So the business should come, but the tech enablement actually bring the business much higher at a very rapid speed. So it is a very good sessions. These sessions you guys coming up with is very good for any organization, any tech entrepreneur, any techie. Basically, a techie, when I call it, somebody who is a developer or who is actually trying to do something with the technology to grow.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and that really means a lot. Speaking of which, cloud AI, agentic AI has been the core theme of digital native enterprises and leaders. What do you think is going to be the next defining chapter for digital natives in India?
So I was just in the panel discussions, in one of the panel discussions I attended, I was telling that cloud was an era, AI was an era. Now everyone is talking about agenticai. Now there are many things with AI coming in, and one thing I was talking about, or I was in some summit which they were talking about, is like we are talking about making it a disjoint process where anybody can actually interface with the main fast GPUs and get their things done. But now the next era, I would say, is a combination where we can directly connect with the systems. So we are on the AI era. Now you are going to see an AI and ML with the uniform systems.
Right.
So now if you look at it, the systems are very specific. If we talk about a computer, everyone knows what is a computer. But in the next era, we are going to get into a set of computers which is not going to be a Mac or a Windows or anything. And if it is an ML and AI based computers, I am keeping the suspense on because this is going to come at least in 6 months.
That's definitely something interesting to look forward to, and I'm sure it is going to define the next chapter. And lastly, any takeaways that you would like to share with our audience today from today's event?
Yeah, so today's session, so what I found was usually there will be protocol and the way the sessions goes, and it's a tech discussion and interaction. But I was seeing a simple, or not a simple, it's a slightly different way it was going, because just the panel discussions or a tech sessions are not going to get people on board, because it's like a half a day session. If you are taking after 1 or 1.5 hours, the acceptance level of the brain goes off, right? So the correct mixture of events when you are doing it, it is not continuously panel discussions. Then you are again giving a key keynote and versus an expression of a new technology, an experience of a new technology,
Right.
then the changing to a fire chat and then coming with a panel discussion. So the people, when I was trying to connect, it's actually a nice way of a roadmap where the anybody is attending, they are not getting, okay, now I'm like full and I need to go out. Because I can see almost it was a full house. People were not going away. That is a very good sign that the pattern you followed was very nice. And another thing is like there are interesting topics. People are looking for information, they will be there. So whoever you are actually calling for as a panel as well as whom you are selecting as an audience, I think both I was seeing a very good mixture. So congratulations to you. It was a wonderful event to attend to. And this is one of the events I have almost attended full.
Thank you so much, and that really, really means a lot once again. Lastly, you are leading Blubirch as a CTO, as a Chief Technology Officer. What would be the best practices for the next gen of digital native leaders that you would like to share with us today? Any key recommendations?
Absolutely. So this is a one good thing which everyone follows, and there is a human tendency, and there is a training which we need to do for human, and it is proven that if a human is trained, they can change.
Right.
So these three things, if you take it, cloud is one thing which when it came, we were all thinking that okay, why we should go to cloud, and then people were hesitating. Now I asked who is using a on-premise system, only I got two hands. So this is a complete change.
Right.
Now, but in other words, I didn't ask a question who is not using AI. I wouldn't have got any hand.
Right.
Because you are using AI anyway without any reason or with a reason. So now if anybody is using AI, they are not really looking at what is the output, and any recommendation, if I am asking you a question you gave me, I just follow. But what happens is like if whoever is giving that answer and program to AI should be very careful what is an answer is about. And another thing is whoever is in the tech industry, if it is a developer or a programmer or a person or a leadership level employee or leadership level, maybe an ownership,
Right.
they should be very clear on one point that the people who are actually creating this AI based products should be testing it very clearly, making sure that the AI driven prompts, AI driven outputs, AI driven recommendations are going correct. And another thing, if you're putting into an organization, make sure that before just using an AI and mandating it, do a proper training so that you're more than anything, you're going to save a lot of.
Right.
Because any prompts, any LLMs, if you are giving a proper prompt, it is going to save you money, and also you give a correct result. For example, if say that please give me an image, please create an image for my banner with this option. Actually speaking, please create. You don't have to use it.
Right.
You are actually using more tokens. This is a
Right.
basic thing.
Right.
Because the number of tokens used in the entire world, highest percentage, about 80% is please give, create. These are the words.
Right.
We don't need to use that. This is a
Right.
basic thing I'm
Right.
talking about. Similarly, if a developer is using an exact prompt,
Prompts.
he gets or she gets a
The exact
very
output.
good exact output,
Yes.
and it again saves money for the organ. So AI is there and it is going to stay. We are all in the race. We need to use it.
Absolutely.
But we have to use AI responsibly. And the best way to do that, third part I am talking about, is training.
Yes.
As a human. Use it. That is what I tried in our organization. We tried. Now I can say all of us in the organization tried. That works well.
Absolutely. Learning should never stop. And thank you so much for these best practices, sharing them with us today. And I certainly look forward to connect with you again. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.